I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me
The day Paris forgot how to breathe. July 2025. Some cities breathe poetry. Paris was one of them. Until the moment Taehyung left and took the air with him. No press release. No goodbye. Just a silent hotel room left with 2 half-drunk espressos and a copy of Les Miserables open to a dog-eared page. That morning, Paris blinked. And he was gone. As if the city had only imagined him. Jungkook's silence grows teeth in Los Angeles. Meanwhile, 9,000 kilometers away, a piano sat untouched in a dimly lit room in Beverly Hills. The boy who used to make stadiums tremble with his voice now walks the Pacific coast at 3 a.m., shoeless, hooded, unknown. Jungkook didn't disappear. He unraveled. Locals speak in hushes of a Korean singer who talks to the waves. One barista claimed he heard him hum a melody so painful, customers cried without knowing why. No cameras. No proof. Only whispers. And those always speak the loudest. Taehyung's vanishing point. Back in Seoul, a driver said he picked up a man with sad eyes who smelled of old perfume and summer rain. He claimed it was Taehyung. The man asked him not to speak. Just drive. To nowhere. When asked why he looked so haunted, the man replied with a cracked laugh. I traded my voice for silence. And my crown for peace. Then he vanished into a Hanok alleyway, swallowed by dawn. HYBE's cracking facade. HYBE tried. They posted vague statements, recycled optimism. Projects in development. Respect their journey. But the truth was bleeding under the surface. Insiders say Operation Revival, their plan to rebrand BTS's post-military image, was torn apart by 2 ghosts who refused to play along. And when legends stop performing, even the stock market listens. Taekook, the pack that never needed words. Fans know. They've seen the way Taehyung and Jungkook used to look at each other, not like idols but like people who knew how hard it is to survive fame with a soul still intact. Now they've both vanished. Not to escape, but maybe to protect something. A fan cafe theory has gained traction. They made a promise under Paris' reign. Not to stay. Not to perform. But to be free, even if it meant disappearing from the world, as long as they never disappeared from each other. It sounds romantic. Maybe it is. Maybe that's why it hurts. The letters never posted. A staff member claims she once saw Jungkook in a quiet Seoul cafe, pen in hand. He wrote a letter. Folded it. Then set it on fire in a tiny ashtray. Only one line was visible before it turned to ash. Tell him I sang my last song for him before I ever sang it for the world. The flames didn't lie. A city waiting for shadows. Paris is still waiting. An art museum recently received an anonymous donation, a portrait of 2 faceless figures under a street lamp, holding hands. One had a green highlight in his hair. The other wore a ring shaped like a crescent moon. The title? What We Were When No One Was Watching. Army's Heartbreak Symphony. Online, Army breaks in silence. Some scream. Some pray. Some simply light candles and let old songs echo like lullabies across the night. Fan theories no longer ask, are they okay? They ask, were they ever truly allowed to be? Because maybe what we thought was freedom was a cage with prettier curtains. This isn't the end. It's the escape route. Maybe they didn't leave the stage because they were tired. Maybe they left because they remembered who they were before the noise. Artists. Brothers. Possibly lovers. But most of all, human. So where do we go from here? If you're reading this, know this truth. They haven't abandoned us. They've chosen themselves. And maybe, just maybe, that's the bravest encore anyone can give. So light a candle. Hum a lyric. Look at the sky and say thank you. Because legends don't disappear. They just find quieter ways to breathe.
World just hunger thirsty persons in different versions, each new update that shit worsens. Why? Pull back the curtain and you'll see the different vermin. We all have different burdens that
They say Paris lost its breath when Taehyung left. But Los Angeles? It never even noticed Jungkook arrive. That's the tragedy of ghosts. They walk into rooms no one can see. Until the room starts feeling colder without knowing why. Jungkook has been spotted less and less. The beach he used to walk at night now holds only footprints that the waves have erased. His piano? Still out of tune. His voice? still unsaid. But one neighbor swore they heard humming, a lullaby that didn't exist, until their child fell asleep with tears. In Seoul, Taehyung remains a rumor. A florist claimed a man with eyes like winter bought a single white rose at closing time. Didn't speak. Just left a note on the counter. I'm not running. Just remembering how to walk without music. Security footage was erased. No trace. Only a scent of lavender and rain. And somehow the city feels emptier. Like something sacred left without warning. The agency is cracking. No scandals. No arrests. Just two absences that feel like earthquakes. HYBE tried to patch the void with words like respect, space, and growth. But behind closed doors, insiders say, they didn't pause the plan. They became the plan's undoing. A leaked document, heavily redacted, mentions an internal directive. Operation Mute, damage control through controlled visibility. The irony? You can't control what refuses to be seen. Whispers grow louder in Korean fan cafes. An unnamed hotel worker in Jeju Island released a blurred audio clip, barely a second long. Two voices. One says, "Let's not be found. Let's just be." The other answers, "Even if the world forgets us, we won't." No names. No location metadata. But ARMY knew. You don't need proof when your heart already recognizes the sound. A fan from Berlin wrote a thread that went viral. She claims she once met Jungkook at a rooftop cafe in 2023. He carried a sketchbook. Inside was a single page. Two silhouettes standing on opposite ends of a stage, facing away from the audience. Between them, a line that read, "We were each other's encore." The world was just the noise between. She didn't ask for an autograph. She just watched him leave. Now that memory feels like a prophecy. Someone hacked an internal HYBE archive. They never published it, but screenshots leaked. Two unsent emails sat in draft folders under Taehyung and Jungkook's staff accounts. Taehyung's draft. "Don't wait for me at the airport. I'm not going somewhere. I'm going inwards." Jungkook's draft. "Tell him, if he ever thinks I left him. Read the lyrics I never released." July 13th. Seoul. The full moon rises, but there are no stars on the stage. Only fan chants in empty rooms. But a fan captured something strange. A drone image over the Han River shows two figures sitting on a bench, hooded, unmoving, facing the water. One had a green highlight. The other wore a bracelet carved with the word Liberté. Zoom in. The photo pixelates. But the feeling doesn't. Maybe this isn't about disbandment. Or scandal. Or drama. Maybe it's a soft declaration of identity. A refusal to entertain when the soul has nothing left to give. Maybe Jungkook and Taehyung are not lost. They're just choosing a quieter sky to shine in. ARMY still waits. Not for comebacks, but for clues. A deleted Spotify playlist. An Instagram story archived too soon. A shadow behind a fashion shoot. A ring in a mirror. They're not watching for music. They're watching for heartbeat. Because that's what Taekook has become. Not just two idols, but a symbol of how fragile and beautiful choosing yourself can be. What if they never return? What if the next Taekook moment doesn't happen on stage, but in a song that drops at 2:13 a.m. with no warning? No press. No promotion? What if the only real Taekook moment left is the one in your heart that refuses to let go? You don't have to shine all the time. Some stars glow best when they're resting. So rest if you need to. Like they did. Like they are. Because silence isn't absence. It's sacred space. And maybe, just maybe, their love, their art, their story was never meant to be shouted. It was always meant to be felt. To be continued.
Brain is overloaded.